Hi friends, welcome to the next part of TCL Basics. In the last video, we saw how to store a value in a variable using keyword set, how to delete a value from a variable using unset keyword, how to print a value of any variable or any line using puts, or if you want to do any arithmetic operation, we can use expr. Together with that, we saw these variables are case sensitive and these variable can be any character, any number or any string or any special character. They can be alphanumerical values as well and they can store alphanumerical values as well. So the value which we are storing and the variable which we are taking to store a value can be any character, number, string, alphanumerical, or any special character. It can be anything. Okay. Today we are going to see about word grouping using different type of braces and double quotes. And after word grouping, we are going to see substitution using variables and the backslash. So why we are doing this word grouping or why we are using these different kind of braces in article scripting? So let's see the uses of these braces with some examples in tickle shell. Okay, so why we have this option of curly braces? So let's say I write a value here, like I'm taking a variable a, and in this variable I have to parse a list of fruits. Okay, now if I'm going to write these list of fruits, let's say grapes, apples, and lychees. Okay, lychee. Now, if I want to pass these three list of fruits in variable a and I write it in this way and press enter, I'll get an error. Why? Because tickle reads commands from left to right. And when it is reading from left to right, it sees set, then it sees a, and now the set, it's the command. Okay. A is the argument, like the is variable value. Okay. Variable name. Then grapes is the variable value. So now it is saying that the wrong number of arguments you have passed through A. Why? Because as per tickle, your command should end after grapes. However, we continued it and wrote apples and lychees. So now what should I be doing here? If I want to pass the value for all these three fruit names in A, I'll use curly braces here and I'll make it as a list. Okay. And when I press enter, now you see that my variable a has value of these three fruit names. Okay. So that's why we are using curly braces. So basically, curly braces is used with in respect to set command. It is used to group or to list the different values or different values in one list, we can say, or to group it together. Okay. Another use of curly braces is, let's say I have variable a in which I have given 1, 2, 3, three numbers. Okay. Now for each of these numbers, I want to add 1 to each. I'll write for each I $a and then curly braces. So curly brace again here we are using is for loop or nesting. Now doesn't matter how many commands I write here. Let's say $I plus 1, my interpreter won't be giving me results immediately. However, it will understand that there are more sets of commands coming in till the time I close these curly braces. And once I close these curly braces and I hit enter, you see that my loop is working. Okay. As per my loop, 1 has been added to each one of this one by one. So this is another use of curly braces. Now if I want to use square brace, so if you see Here in set C, square. Okay, this is the square bracket here. Now when Tickle is reading command from left to right, it is seeing that okay, set C. So Tickle understands that some value has to be set in this variable C, and that value, since this square bracket is starting here, means that some kind of command is coming in which Tickle has to interpret first. Okay, some command is coming in which Tickle has to interpret first and then store this value into the C. Okay, so let's say I write C expr $I plus 1. This. So tool first interprets this, which is present in my square bracket, and then this value is put into C. Okay, so this is the use of square brackets. Now, double quotes. As you have seen, puts the value of $C. Okay, so now put basically we're using double quotes to write a command as it is. However, within double quotes, any value which is present will be interpreted. Okay, so C has some value. I'm writing with a dollar ahead of it, and hence it is interpreting value 4 here. Okay, CLS we are using to clear our screen. History command we are using to see all the commands that I have used till now in this particular shell. I'll do CLS again. Just to give you another small idea of all these brackets that we are using here. Let's see, set C, EXPR, 3 or $I plus 1. This you have seen. Now I'm changing these square brackets to the curly brackets. Now if you see, whatever I have written in this curly bracket, so it's not substituting these value. However, it is writing $I as it is. So puts $C, it will have expr $I plus 1. It's not interpreting the value of I. It's not substituting I with the actual value of 3, because puts $I, this 3 is the value of I. Now, what if I write same command in double quotes? So you see, in double quotes, it is putting the exact expression. However, it is replacing or substituting $I with 3. So curly braces disables your substitution. However, double quotes enables your substitution. And whenever you're using square braces, it is enabling the substitution, plus it is calculating the value of the command present within the square brace. I hope this makes clear the usage of different type of braces and quotes. Now see next. After word grouping, we'll see word grouping and substitution using variable. We'll see substitution using backslash. So why are we using backslash in our design? What is the use of it? So let's say if I try to put I want to put some special character. So if I'm writing hello world here in this puts command, you see that these double quotes, they are not printed. Only whatever present inside the double quotes is printed. Now I want to write a line puts Anita says don't go. Now I've gotten this error, extra characters after close quote. So my tickle interpreter, when it reads code from left to right, it understands, okay, that double quote is starting here. And now double quote is ending here. So as per tickle, the command is from puts to Anita says up to double quote. But then it sees that there are some extra things present after this double quote. And the tool is not able to understand that why is it so or what it exactly means. So what we can do in this case, I can use backslash. And now my tickle interpreter is able to understand that double quotes with the backslash means the user want to print these double quotes as it is. Now it understands what I'm trying to write. Anita says, don't go. Okay. So that's why we are using backslashes with these special characters to make sure that tickle interpreter does not interpret it as some special character and however print them as they are, as their actual value. Okay, because sometimes percent sign we may use to calculate some mathematical expressions and you don't want tickle to understand it as percent. You want to print that percent sign. So in that kind of cases, you'll be using backslash. What else we can use backslash for? Now, in the same line, if I don't want space between these two, don't and go, I'll simply write. Now you see slash b, it is backspacing or it is removing this space between don't and go. Let's say Anita says, don't go, don't go. Rather than don't go, it becomes don't go. Now, if I'm making a list and I want to give a tab space between name and roll number. So instead of giving six spaces, I'll simply put slash t. Now when I'm putting slash t, it will give me a tab space between name and roll number. This is another use of tab, or sorry, backslash. Now, if I want some kind of sound alert in my code, then I'll write puts backslash a. I hope you're able to hear this audio sound. I hope it got recorded in my video. If not, please try it at your end and let me know what you see. Again, we can use these backslash to interpret a hexadecimal or any octal numbers as well. So let's say puts 110. See, it says H. Okay. So it understands the different hexadecimal numbers or the octal numbers and it interprets their value in your system or in the shell. Try it at your end and let me know what new you have done using Tickle today. Here are some practice questions for you to try at your end, and you can try to understand how Tickle works by practicing these questions. If you have any doubts in these questions, please put them in comments. I'll try to reply to all your questions and I'll try to resolve your queries. If I have missed anything in this video, please let me know. I'll cover it in my next video. Thank you for your patience and your time. Have a great day. Good night.